Greetings, everyone. Um, I am just doing some work at the moment. I thought this would be a nice little experiment to do. I suppose everyone gets to see how I create some things. I've been working on the VSS Venomous Sea Serpent by Victor Garcia for quite a while, and I've been racing against time trying to get my particular VSS up and ready for Joe Fest for next year. So I've been working every day, during the day, at night, not continuously, but a lot. And so I was just in the mood also for working on an experiment I was thinking of earlier today. And so I thought it'll make for a nice little video, because I know there's people out there who are curious on how I do things, how I make stuff. And so this would be a little opportunity for it, for people to see. So what I have right here is, let me make sure I'm sharing the proper screen. Is my go-to CAD program called SolidWorks, and it's a full 3D CAD package. And so what I did here is that I was working with clearing up some earlier experiments I was doing on the starboard wall for the VSS. And I had just saved it right when the video started. So let me kill that. And so anyway, this is the VSS that I was working on right now. I was doing some edits. And so I'm going to go ahead and put things back the way it was, because right now it looks kind of exploded. I was working on this section earlier today, and because I had a name conflict between two parts, it was giving me some trouble. So I went ahead and just replaced this deck with the deck I was working with, which is this one now. And but now I need to reconnect everything. So if folks are curious about the process, SolidWorks does it so you select a particular face or side, and you can say that you want this face to, it's running a little slow for some reason. Yeah, I don't know why it's running slow. Maybe doing the cam as well as all of this is slowing things down. But so select that face to this face down here. Come on, catch up. I have a feeling I know what it is too, is that switching to transparency to see all the stuff on the inside, there's a lot of details that suddenly become visible. So that could also be slowing down the system a little bit. So select this face to this face here. Okay. And now I will select this face. See, it's a little bit faster with, it's less stuff to, that's doing transparent. So that's probably why it was slowing down. I was doing something, I was selecting the top deck there, and there's a lot more details, so it's really slowing things down. Select that. So this is pretty much where I left off. So I'll just go ahead and save this and explain a little bit about it. So my VSS is going to be a space carrier. And let me do that. And save. And so I've been just trying to kind of work with the existing VSS body structure and just try to make it look more like some sort of spaceship carrier. I'm kind of influenced a little bit on the ships from Stargate SG-1, Stargate Atlantis. And so the idea was my VSS is going to be twice as long. So the regular VSS is about that long. And so mine is going to be twice as long and twice as high. And to add some more room for me to do things, I'm adding structures to the starboard and port sides. And because I only have one flight deck that comes with the VSS, I needed to see about adding another hull part. So I started to experiment in doing this part as a puzzle, so I can just kind of interlock pieces together and eventually cover everything. And I kind of stopped at this point here because I'm kind of experimenting to see if I want to go this route, doing this type of technique. And I wanted to make the flight deck raised off of the main structure. And but I think I'm not going to use the actual VSS flight deck. I'm probably going to make my own. It'll probably be it'll probably look different, and I'm probably going to use the puzzle type of assembly. But if I were to use the standard flight deck and raise it off, it'll be about, I'm thinking about maybe figure height. And this is approximately a little bit more than 100 millimeters, which is about the height of a figure. And so back here is the engine room area that I'm going to be working on. I got one of these things laser cut already. I need to do the other one, and I need to 3D print these parts. But on the inside, let me just make that a little bit transparent. You can see there's, I'm going to be having one of those light bulbs that uses a flame. So it'll be mounted horizontally like this. So that way, when you're, when the thing is on, you should be able to see some glow from the light that's flickering. So, you should be able to see something like that here. So I'm going to be doing a lot of experimentations with lights. So I got these lights. They're going to be kind of orange. I have a Star Trek warp core, and that's going to be about blue. So it'll have like this play between blue lights and orange. And let's see. Can I select? I think I need to, well, I'll worry about that later. Sometimes when an object goes into transparent mode, you can select the objects behind it. So sometimes it gets a little bit challenging to select the object that is transparent, because it wants to go to the objects that's behind it. So, but I'll worry about that later. Not right now. So another thing I was working on was a little bit today were these joisting structures I was putting on top of the VSS. And the final product is not going to have these specific joistings. it'll be more like one of the bulkheads that I have done uh, elsewhere. So I was thinking of replacing some of those here in this little video, so people get to see about that. There's also, I was working on some structures for the inside. Let me go ahead and close this window. Okay, there it goes. Yeah, so okay, so this is the joisting object I was working with earlier. I'm going to go ahead and close this, and I'm going to bring up the objects that I want to work with. Assembly plans. Let's see, where do I have it? Was it the flight deck? No. I think I had it under beams and bulkheads. I was doing it as a bulkhead. I went ahead and changed the name. Yeah. Anyone here? I think I called it beam. Where's B? Kind of lost it. Oh, there it is, right in front of me. Okay. So this was the what I was working on earlier, and I'm thinking the top structure here was going to work on a mechanism to connect multiple beams together, and making it long enough to crisscross the top of the VSS. So let me just, so I don't have to recreate the wheel, let me open up another bulkhead and that way I could just take settings, take objects that I did on one and pretty much copy paste to this one. So I'll take this one right here. Just going to go ahead and copy this. Copy. And switch. I'm going to move this right over here. Actually, maybe I can move this right here. Okay, let's see. So select, edit this, paste it. There. And that'll be another good place to put. I think I'll do another one right here. You know, I'm not used to doing stuff like this while I'm live. So I'm being a little conscientious about if anyone is watching and things like that. So, I guess I don't do well in crowds, you know, like public speaking, things like that. Now I'm going to do a mirror. I'm just going to make this line right there. Take this, take that. Mirror entities. Say select this. There. Now I'm going to make a little cut. How deep should I make this? Say 3.5 millimeters deep. Okay. So I'll go ahead and save that. And I'm going to see about making another. I guess I could put them here, these little ovals in this area there on both sides. So let's see, I'm gonna go select, sketch, center line. I'm gonna say from here to here. And I'm going to switch the view to there. I still have the item in the clipboard. Yeah, that should be good enough. It's not too close to the wall. It's not too close to the edge. Now, I'm gonna do another mirror, probably just right here. I find that I can use the scroll wheel on the mouse to zoom back and forth, and I find that easier than using some tool to zoom and position. So you'll see me like zooming back and forth like this to kind of center things on the screen, and that's just my preference on doing it. It might be kind of funny if you're doing SolidWorks in a professional environment, and here I am busy scrolling back and forth. But that's just my way. So I'm going to mirror across here. And now I'm going to select all of this. I'm just going to go ahead and copy paste. It'll be easier. Like this, copy to there. Okay. And now I'm just going to do a center line here. And I'm just going to select, mirror again. Say OK to that. And then I'm going to say to make a cut. Extrude cut. Where? To the surface. What surface? This surface underneath. Simply put, I just want these ovals to go all the way through. So then, okay, I'm ready there. Let's see, do I want to do anything on top here? I'm not quite sure. I haven't thought about putting any ports, attachment ports here yet. I don't know if, you see, the idea with this is that it's going to take some weight. In particular, it's going to take some twisting. And I don't want to compromise the strength by putting too many ports. And this is only about 20 millimeters wide. So I can comfortably put 2 ports right there without risking weakening the part too much. But for now, I'm just going to leave it like this, just for now. So the next step that I want to do is do multiples of these. So I'm going to go to File, New, Assembly. Okay. So the way it works is you insert a component, in this case, beam. And if I want to do more than one, just insert another component. And I'm going to do How many do I want to do? Let's just do 3 for the moment. So insert another component. Put this here. Oh, I got stuff on my desk in the way. Is there any comments? See, I have the CAD program overlapping my screen. I think in order to do this right, I need to have like a dual monitor setup where I could have the second monitor like here monitoring the live stream stuff, and I could be doing other things on the other screen. But right now, I just got to make do with what I got. So I'm going to mate this side to here. Okay. Then I'm going to make this one to here. And then I'm going to go ahead and make these this to here. Same thing, this to here. This to here. Okay. I'll go ahead and save this. Don't know what should be called. The bulkhead, beam. Just going to call it assembly. Beam 1-1. I don't want to do -1. I'll just leave it like that. Save it. Okay. Now I'm going to I'm going to open up another larger file. So I have a folder where I'm just doing things just for my particular VSS. So that's this one here. Do I want to do this one? Yeah, well, no, I don't want to do this one yet. Let me go to the top. Let me back out of this. I think I just called it hull. Maybe I should call it ceiling or something like that, but it's like that. Sometimes I'm not good on naming the items. It's like I'll make a name and then I'll come back later thinking, oh, that wasn't a very good name. I should call it something else. So here's the stuff here. I'm in the process of working with these. So when you look at this model on the VSS, this looks a little bit too big. So I'm still in the process of working with that. So what I'm going to do is get rid of this. So delete subassembly, yes. And I'm going to go ahead and insert the beams that I was working on. So I'm going to go ahead and select this, select this side. And I'm going to go ahead and rotate. I'm relying on mating the surfaces to the other surfaces. So I'm not too worried about when I rotate the objects. I'm not worried about their degrees, like if I'm doing 90 degree or 180 degree or anything like that. Because when I make the objects together on the surfaces like this, they're going to be parallel anyway. Now I'm going to switch to the top view. Because at the moment, I'm not going to settle on a particular measurement or anything like that. I'm just going to eyeball this right here. So I'm putting that there. I'm going to move this over here. So the idea is that I'm going to try making a part for these beams like this, and then I'm going to have other beams going, 90-degree direction. But I'm thinking of kind of interlocking them. So I may have to. So I'm thinking about making a part that fits in between these two beams that has a shape that I can lock the beams into. And I'm thinking of doing it like well, I have another part that it might be easier to or better to explain. I'm just thinking at the same time, if I really want to do it like that. Well, I could try that. So, okay, so here's an idea. I'm going to go ahead and save this. Rebuild and save, yes. And I'm going to go ahead and close it. I'm going to keep this open, but I'm going to go ahead and make a copy of this. But I'm not going to make a copy there. I'm going to do it from File Explorer or whatever Windows 10 calls it now. Copy, paste. I'm just going to call this copy Beam Original. And because I'm going to make a significant change, so I don't want it to, I don't want to lose what I'm doing. So I think I'm going to take it from here. So let me bring up this file. I'm going to copy paste again, but this time I'm just going to take this. Copy. Close it. In fact, I kind of think maybe tonight I should see about printing this. So I got to do some finishing touches on this piece. But all I want to lock is going to be this piece. So that way I can slide the beam using this as a groove, just slide it through. And let's see, I'm going to start another part. I'm going to say top plane. And I'm going to do the sketch, paste. So I'm just going to move this closer, but what I'm going to do is 20 millimeter by 20 millimeter square. So 20. Now there's different techniques to center an object like a square, but I'm just going to do it like this. I have my reasons. There's a feature to just tell the thing to center the object, but I'm just going to do it like this. I got some, I have a reason why I do it like this. Okay, so this is the male part here. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this to length. Yep, it didn't take. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and copy this. There. Fast way, well, okay, the fast way to do this is just do an array. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut these lines, yeah. Probably here. Yep. Okay, I'm just going to make sure that, yeah, okay. Control Z. Do that again over here. Just going to make sure I don't have overlapping lines. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and make this hollow. At the moment, the simplest way is to do something like this. Well, first I'm going to go ahead and extrude this about 20 millimeters thick. So mid plane, 20. Okay. And I'm going to, from this plane here, I'm going to go ahead and catch it. Just going to do an offset. I'll make this 2 millimeters offset. Reverse base geometry. So do it like this. And I'm just going to do an extrude cut to the surface. I like extruding a cut or an object to a surface, because if I ever change the dimensions of that surface, the other objects will adjust automatically. So now I got that. So let me go ahead and save this. I'm not quite sure what to call it yet. VSS, beams and bulkheads. What do I want to call it? I could always change the name later, but for now I'm just going to call it beam 1-1-join. Back of a better name. So now I'm going to go ahead and so here, no, not this one. So this one, I'm going to go ahead and just delete these two. Delete. Yes to all. So that way I can separate these. Oh, but I deleted it. Oh, that's the first object you put in usually gets fixed, so you can't move it around. You can override that, but I'm not going to do it right now. Insert components. I want to insert these beam join. Maybe I should just call it beam join. So I'll put one there, and other insert beam join again, right there. Now I'm going to go ahead and, so anyway, the reason why I made a copy of this file, because now I'm going to go ahead and make the structure that's going to connect to this. So I'm going to go ahead and save what I have. And so I'm going to find that item right here. Do I still have it in the clipboard, the object that I was working with? Let's see. I'm going to select this. No. I'm going to select top plane, sketch. Yeah, I have to go back to copying it to the clipboard. I'll just do it from here. So edit here. Let's take this one. Copy. Close this. Switch to the previous. Still on sketch. Okay, so paste this. Now remember, I'm not making this structure. I'm making basically I'm making a rail so the structure can connect. And I'm making a little error here. Let me delete this. Need to rotate it. $180. And there. Easier to just do a mirror. And then I do the bottom part. Bottom part there. And to make everything nice, remove this line, make it to a construction line. So that's going to be on one side. I think I'll need it on the other side too. So let me put another construction line. It says center line up there in the thing, but older versions called it construction line. Okay. And I'll select, because it has construction lines already, I won't select the center line. Select this one right there. Boom, now it's there. Okay, so now I do. No, my voice is getting very dry. Let me get some tea. So let's see. I want to extrude this, but how far? All the way to the surface, top surface, right here. Okay. Save. So now I go take a look at this. Look at that one. Take a look at this. Okay, now go mate. I am going to, okay, it's the top part. I don't want the top one. I want to do it from the bottom. Here, here. Okay. And so I believe these are also the same. So, okay, that. So I got to do that to this one also. So this to here. Okay. Now I need to go to this side here. Oh, not that one. Maybe drag this out. This surface to this one here. Boom. Now I'm going to do a top view. And I'm going to say, well, I'll show you why I want to do something in just a moment. So I want this surface here. Now I need to go back and make a little correction, and I'll explain why in just a moment. But I need to go back to this piece, back to this that I was working with. It's supposed to rain. I'm looking out the window from time to time. I don't see any rain coming. Although there are some dark clouds now. It was still supposed to rain a few hours ago. So I'm going to do a little offset here. I'm going to select an offset of a small amount. Okay. How come I don't see anything? Strange. So let me. Okay, there it goes. Sorry. My bad. So I'm going to select these items here, reverse the direction, make it a little bit wider. And I'll need to also, with that, sorry, to the offset here also, and select this. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to remove part of this. Now, this being kind of a rough thing, I'm going to go ahead and just cut right here. I'll worry about refinements later. And we'll go ahead and cut that there. Cut this. Actually, it's the trim tool, so I'm just trimming. Trim that there. Trim that off. And trim this here, and trim that off. Okay. So I'm going to change this into a construction. Going to sneeze. Okay. And now I'm going to select these objects. I'm going to mirror about here. So that way they appear down there. And now I'm going to it has the previous settings. So I'm just going to select as is. And there's the objects. Save it. I'll switch over to the other screen. And you can see why I made those parts a little bit wider. Mostly that way the parts will actually fit. If not, it'll be just too tight. You won't be able to fit anything. So now I got a bunch of errors I gotta go back and fix up. Still need to make this part here a little bit better because it's too flat. So let me go and do that. Save this. Same thing. So what I'll do is that I'll cut that piece off. And I will go ahead and do the offset again. Just right there, reverse. Okay. And do the offset again, right there. And then I'm going to take all of this. Oh, not yet. Let me just add a little bit. Right there. Select that. Do that there. Okay. So let me just go ahead and select these items and move it up a little bit. Just right there. Yes. Delete this. Delete this. Make this line right here to here. Make another line right here to here. I'm going to extend this line right there to there. Now I'm going to go ahead and mirror that again because those changes are not reflected here. Right there, that's good enough. This mirror about right there. Do that. Click that. Oh, I got my caliper right here. Move my caliper out the way. And let's see. Save. Now I switch the screen back to this one. Set it to update. Okay. So everything is kind of fixed. I'm going to alter this. And perfect. Now I'm also going to do the same thing here. I think, yeah, this is okay. So I'm just going to select this to here. Oh, something slid. Yeah, slid right there. Okay, so select that to that. Distance. So, and okay. So I need to kind of fix this right there. So, you. Okay. So I guess instead of 20 millimeters tall, I need to make it, that looks like 2, so 22 millimeters tall. So I'm going to go back to here, and I'm going to select this surface, rotate to the other side, select this one, put some distance. Okay. Then I'm going to select this here, select this one, put some distance, 0.25. Okay. And top view. Oh, gotta make an adjustment. So let's see, where did that go? Okay. So let's try flipping the direction. Oh, okay, perfect. And one more. So you can see if you have like a whole bunch of parts, you have to mate each side. So basically you're connecting each side. So if you have a whole bunch of them, it becomes tedious work. Okay, let me take a quick look at this. Perfect. And I think I need to do, I guess everything's attached. So good. Now I'm going to go back to this and make it a little bit taller. Let's say 22. Okay. Save it. Here. Select the update. And there it is. So I'm just making sure everything's okay, everything's proper spacing. So now with this idea, I can go ahead and put other objects in this direction, in that direction, and basically I can make a grid. So let's take a quick look at how this might look with the roof part of the hull of the VSS part. So close up that model. Let me bring it back up. File, open. Assembly plans. VSS 002. Was it here? Yeah, let's take a look at this one. Actually, it wasn't that one. Sorry, I keep going to here. It's actually this one. So I gotta improve the names, and I need to do a better file structure. Yeah, rebuild. Okay. So now those changes are implemented here. You can see that. So how many do you think I will need? Another 3, probably up to here, and then a little bit more. And I need 2 sets of this roof structure that I'll be doing. So I need another set back there, which is already done, so it'll be like a mirror. So what I can do here is go back to the previous assembly. That's a insert component. Let's join, and I guess it's back there. Let's just put 2 more. So 1 there, another one, some more back here, and let's insert another 2 beams. That'll be 3 beams, I think. So beam 1, and let's do it again. Actually, let's do another set of beams and another set of these joins going right here. I don't know why I went there. Go back here. And so let's do that again. Another one here. And one of these joins right here. So let's see. Now comes the tedious part. Mating them all together. So let's see how fast I can actually do it. So I know this is going to go right there. Yeah. Okay. This is going to join right here. Okay. This is going to join right here. I'm just kind of putting them into a rough position, since I got to do these this maneuver over and over a few more times. There. This here. That there. Okay. Now what I want to do is that's good enough. So select that. Do this again. Select this. Then we select that surface right there. Okay. We'll get out the way. This surface right there. Okay. So this one to here. Since they're identical on each side, it doesn't really matter. So I'm just taking them as convenient for me right now. Okay. Take that. There. And then to here. And then I'm just going to go ahead and just, the easy part is this, since they're all going to connect to that. I don't have to do anything special right here, just do this. And so now I got this long structure. Save it, and then I'll switch to the other screen, and I'll update the other screen, and you can see the effect, or the result, really. Okay, so now it's there. Now it's long. So, let me find where I made that part parallel and just delete it. Yes. So let me go to the top view. Come on, I'm trying to select it so I can just drag it. Yeah. Okay. So it'll be something like this. My VSS is going to be, well, it's going to be something like this. This is just all rough. So I'm going to select here to here. Oh, get out of my way. And let's go to the top view, take a look at it again. So I don't mind this being a little bit long right now. I can do adjustments later. This is just getting the idea across, the idea. So most likely I'm going to have at least one in the middle, one of those along this area here, another one over here, and probably another one down over here to give this area some strength. Since it's got these connection points now, I'm going to have to make this into a grid. So I'll be going in this direction as well, this direction, this direction. And then from there, I'll be able to attach things on top. Most likely, I'll have to also do the same thing on the bottom. So the bottom is going to be providing me attachment points to put it on the lower deck, and the bulkheads that will hold it. And the top part is going to be more for the aesthetic, meaning that I could put weapon placements in different locations supported by these beams. I'm thinking of other objects too. You can make parts look like they're designed for hatches, for missiles, for other kinds of things, other structures. And you'll see in just a moment that when it goes over to the edge of the ship's side, I will be able to eventually have attachment points along the edges here. So I'll be able to extend and put other things. And I'm thinking things like gun emplacements, basically little battlements. So let me go ahead and save this. And I'll switch. Yeah, rebuild. Okay. And let me open, go to VSS 002, assembly plans. For the moment, I'm just going to work with that particular deck rather than the other two. It'll be just less overhead kind of stuff. So this will probably update automatically. So you can see I got the two ceiling upper hull parts. Let's see. Okay. Okay, there it is. It's updated. So those are parts I just did. So you can see this is going to be a massive project. All this is going to be 3D printed. All this stuff back here, okay, this is just going to be a wood, laser cut wood. Maybe I'll do, what did I do? Maybe the top part. Maybe I'll sandwich it with a top layer. That top layer might be ABS, but the idea is still going to be the same. It's going to be small segments where I can arrange them like a puzzle to cover the entire top. So how the engine part is going to be. Light bulb. So probably tomorrow I'm going to be putting more attachments on this area, basically making the grid on the top. And there's a trick that I think I'll be able to do. I have some other objects, beams that look more like joisting, things like this. This is going to be on the bottom, on the underside. So I have a trick. I'll be able to simply replace these beams with this object in a separate file, and then just come back and attach it all. So it should work. Save this, and I'll bring up another file showing how the structure might be on the inside of the lower deck. So let me go ahead and close this. And let me open another file. I'm not quite sure what I named it, so something to do with beam, I think bulkheads, something like that. This one? No, it's this one, joisting. Okay. Rebuild. So you can see I got some big bulkheads here. The details, I haven't done the details yet, but you'll be able to see little surface details when I get done with it. But for now, the main idea is that these bulkheads are going to be printed in a very strong material, so it'll take the weight of the VSS. So I'm going to try to shift the weight from the walls and rest everything on these bulkheads. So everything is going to be designed really strong. Here's the joisting part. And same idea. I'm going to stretch this joisting across in this direction as well from these points. And so basically I'm making a grid, and the ceiling part is going to rest right on top of it. So the bulkheads are going to be quite interesting, really, too, because I'll have to come up with ways to reinforce. If they start to sag in the middle, I'll have to come up with a way to reinforce things. But I'm confident it's all doable. So the only real challenge that I'll have is that I need to put another of these joisting areas like right here in front of the openings. So, I'm just going to have to see about changing the openings a little bit, maybe with some other wood structures or something like that. A hinged door is another way. I can open up a hinged door so that way I can access the inside. I want to go ahead and just add another of these bulkhead areas right here. So let me go ahead and find the file. If the file is open, it will be in this section. So I think under assembly plans, where do I have it? Oh, it's not under assembly plans. It's under beams and bulkheads, under joisting. Assembly ceiling joist? No, not this. Well, okay, let me go back. Hunting for the file. Yeah, here it is. That one. Open. Okay. Just to give an idea what I got to go through to put everything. Do the make one side to the floor. So I'm going to, actually, let's do it right here. Make that surface. Where do we want to put it? Let's put it here, to that surface. Okay. Now it'll be easier for me to just go ahead and rotate. So now I'm going to select an object and just rotate it. Okay. Go back to the mate feature. Okay, I'm going to, I don't want to make that. Actually, come on. I should have just deleted it from here. I want to make this object. So that's parallel to the wall. So just take any wall. Okay. Now I want to get flushed. Well, I don't want to be too flush. I want to have some distance between that wall and that surface. Now, the reason why I want to make it have a little bit of a distance is so that when I'm assembling the VSS, let's say at Joe Fest or someplace like that, it's going to be too tight. It's going to be in my way. So I want to put maybe well, for now, let's just say 18 millimeter separation. And I'll click OK. And I'll go back to take a look. Just like that. One way to kind of leave open this, the door so I can have better access would be to do a different kind of bulkhead, one that I can just screw into the wall itself and attach everything to that structure there, rather than have the bulkhead coming down. Kind of tricky because, like I said, it's going to have a lot of weight. So I'm worried about the MDF boards being too weak for wear and tear, because as the VSS is designed for transportation, so you can break it down and move it around, put it into storage. So with enough, but being wood, it's with enough breaking down and reassembling, eventually it's just wear and tear on the parts. So to minimize that, I want to have these, bulkheads take the weight of everything. But we'll see how it goes. If I need to redesign a part, I can easily do that. So anyway, this is how it looks. Let me change the view mode to perspective. So you get more of a natural perspective look to it. So give an idea there. I'm going to go ahead and save this. File save. Get something to drink. Okay. And let's see. Let's take a look at. Let's take a look how it looks with. Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look. Let's go ahead and add the ceiling part. Do I have it already? I don't have it already. So let me go ahead and insert. So I'm just going to mate this surface here to here. Get up my way. And this surface from here to here. And the rest I'm just going to eyeball it from the top. That looks kind of like in the middle. Oh, let me take it off of that perspective. Okay. Yeah, a little bit more, something like that. And of course, this is just half. So let me just bring up the other, insert component, do it again. But in this case, I want to make things a little bit different. I want to grab this and mate to this. If anyone is leaving any comments, I apologize for not seeing them. I have the window overlapping everything, so I'll take a look and see if there's any comments in just a moment. So I'll take this. Here. Actually, I don't think I need to do that. Well, I guess so. I guess no harm. And then from, let's say, from this one to here, doesn't really matter now. So okay, looks good. So this is the second deck with for the VSS 002. So at this point, I'm going to start getting start making a plan on how to attach the ceiling part. Let me do something right here real fast. So let's do a little cutaway view. So it's a little bit easier to see. So when I do the ceiling part, I'm going to have to, by that time, I'll have a little network, a little grid of joisting already made, and the ceiling will have its own on the other underside. And then I'll be able to see how I'm going to align them up so they will attach the ceiling joisting to the joisting that's connected to the bulkheads. And I have a plan on using some magnets to help keep things aligned. So I'll have to design a little connection point so the magnets can help. Let me see if there's any comments real fast. So, okay, no comments. Okay. Yeah, I don't want anyone to think I'm ignoring the comments if there's any. So what I need to do maybe for tomorrow, I need to put more bulkheads, more joisting actually, not the bulkheads, but more joistings, and start making a crisscross for the joisting stuff. And I can, once they're in place, I can go in and see what I need to adjust afterwards. And then I'll do that tomorrow. When it comes to the ceiling part, it's going to be some tedious work, but I'll have to do the top, I guess, top joisting, top beam work. I don't know. It's going to crisscross, make a little grid. These opening areas here, I'm going to cover them up. So all this opening that you can see through, all that's going to get covered up. I just have to work out the dead center part, so it'll be really centered, and then I'll be able to take some measurements between here and here and make a part that fits those areas. I'm also undecided. I'm thinking of changing the tiles to these puzzles, so I could have maybe have the tiles also interlock in this direction as well, because right now they're not. They're just relying on the sides for interlocking. But I'm not too concerned at the moment on that, because I do intend to put other material, maybe other pieces of wood, maybe ABS sheets, and kind of reinforce all of these seams that it's going to have. And so, okay, let me go ahead and change the view. Let's remove the cutaway. Save it. And I don't want to remove what I did here in terms of the ceiling. So I'm just going to go ahead and suppress it. So in terms of the CAD program, this ceiling part, upper deck part, whatever it's called, is still will be there in the file. It'll just be suppressed. So in other words, I can call it up whenever I want to see how it looks again, without having to insert. I'll show you just what I mean. Suppress. So let's say, for example, I want to see the front part again. It still exists in the file. All I have to do is just unsuppress it. So I don't have to reload anything. There it is. And there it goes. Okay. I'm going to save this again. And then I'm going to bring up how the VSS looks. VSS 002. Close this. save all. Yeah, I'm going to work on this next. It's ready for printing, I think. Just for prototype purposes. I don't quite yet have the strong plastic that I intend to use with it, so I need to order that. But in the meantime, I could have some prints done for prototyping purposes. Let me just go ahead and do that real fast since I have it in front of me. All I want to do with this is, well, two things, but all I want to do here is just make the corners rounded, maybe 0.5 inch, or I mean, sorry, 0.5 millimeters. I don't know why I said inch. I usually don't deal with imperial measurements. That's weird. Maybe I'm just tired. I've been working with this all day. Different models, different things. So here, the reason why I'm putting these, reason why I'm making these corners and these edges rounded is so it just reduces stress, because the model is going to be under a lot of stress, a lot of weight. And if someone bumps into it, if I bump into it, if I'm doing something and I move the table where the VSS is on and hits a wall, there's going to be little jars, little bumps, little things that's going to move and make little stress points. So to help keep things from being, from having too much stresses and breaking, I'm just going to round these things. So I'm just going to do just something like this. And I'm going to do another set down at the bottom. And I'm going to do some on the insides. I'm going to do right here, actually. See, do I want to do it here? What would be easier? Let me take a quick look and see how I have this set up. Taking a look. Okay, never mind. I'm doing okay. I can do this here. Make this rounded. Just round that. I'm right-handed, but if you notice, I'm controlling the mouse on the left. I don't know. I just got used to controlling the mouse on both hands. What is that called? Ambidextrous or something like that? I am not ambidextrous, that's for sure. It's just when it comes to the mouse, I can be. So let's see. The entire surface. Everything to minimize stress points. Okay, that part didn't work. Okay, this will work. And let me play around with the numbers. Something it didn't like. If I make this smaller diameter, yeah, so that would work there. And let me do 0.5. Let me do it here. Oh, might be kind of close right there. Yeah, let me do smaller numbers, 0.25. Yeah, okay, so I can up it to say 0.35. Oh, I went 2.5 again, 0.35. Better. I could do that. This here. This here. And do this again, but 0.5 millimeters. One nice little feature that SOLIDWORKS allows is to be able to replicate certain commands over again, and it gives a little preview of how that effect would be. So right now I just want it here. It might have a conflict, that's why you don't see the preview really. So let's see if there's any error message. Yep, error message. So let me do that again. But this time, I'm not going to let it do it automatically. I'm just going to do it manually. Because one thing, it's not, I don't have too many edges doing this step over and over for. It's just a few, really. It's the feature that allows for replicating your previous command comes in very handy when you have a lot of steps that you're doing over and over again, like hundreds. So this is just a little bit tedious, but not very bad. Do I want to do that? No, not yet. I don't want to do the surface, side, the face, I mean. They call them faces. I call them surfaces. But I guess, you know, the face of a side, the face of a cube. I guess it makes better sense to call it a face. Almost done. One more corner here. Okay. Save it. And let me just do a little bit here. Here, almost done with this step, and then probably one more step after this. Basically, I want to get the inside edges, and maybe these edges here in this little hexagon, maybe that little edge there, maybe so, and inside the circle. So let's see. Can I just do wrong thing? Can I just do this entire face? Yeah, okay. This works for me. As long as the preview works, the command will go through. So save this. So in terms of strategy, this is the component that's going to be used on the floor of the VSS and the ceiling of the VSS. The bulkheads will, so this is the outward facing, the inward facing. Well, this is the side that's going to be facing a wall. So this is the side that's going to be facing what everyone is going to see. So the bulkhead is going to attach, coming from the side that faces the wall, it's going to attach this direction. And so I have these little screw holes here. So if I want to, I could screw a nut. I could have a nut down at the bottom, a hexagon thing, probably something like an M4 size hex nut, or something along those lines, maybe like an M5 or M4, something small. And probably an Allen screw, M4 size, would probably just go through and connect to that nut. So the bulkhead is going to have, well, the bulkhead doesn't have to have it, but, well, yeah, the bulkhead is going to have something like that. So if I need, I can attach that to the bulkhead in that way. For another option, I have these circles here. They're going to be for magnets. So if I don't want to do something permanent with a screw, or semi-permanent with a screw, I can use magnets to help. This is going to come into play on the ceiling, not the floor. And my main strategy at the moment is using some super glue to attach this side to the floor. And so anyway, okay, this part is complete. It's already saved. Now I can move on to next. So let me open the next VSS part. Let me go back to assembly plans, VSS 002. And just for fun, let's take a look at how it looks, almost all complete. So takes a few seconds. So at the moment, there's 431 components that I've worked on. Okay. Let me see if there's any comments. No comments. Okay. So with the old style flight deck, this is how it would look. So I'm thinking of raising the flight deck up off of the I don't know, off the hull, off the roof. I hope to attach from, remember, it's going to have a series of these beams coming out the entire length. So it'll be like a grid. And that will enable me to attach additional structures. I could hang them off the side. I can, especially back here, over the walkway part, which will be a little bit longer. It'll be about up to here. I should be able to attach weapon areas back along this area. Actually, the entire front, the entire sides, port and starboard, should have various weapon positions. So back here, probably some missiles and maybe a phalanx type thing here, 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 over there. Because this is a spaceship, some of those weapons will have to be mounted upside down. So, I may have to attach weapons below, down here in this area, in between. There's going to be like a docking port along this area, or maybe back here. So the idea is, if VSS 002 came across another VSS carrier ship, then they should be able to dock in orbit side by side through a docking port. Let's see. So I still have to add various greebles. I need to add greebles to, greebles for maneuvering thrusters. That's got to be, different places. I have the greebles already designed. I just have to determine where I'm going to attach them. And I can't really determine that yet until I get all of these other little details done first. The flight deck is going to be replaced with another flight deck. So that other flight deck is going to look a little bit different. Let me go to the top view here. So the other flight deck probably won't have, well, I will try to preserve the unique characteristics that the VSS has. And a lot of that is these sloped sides. It gives the VSS a certain look. So I do want to preserve that. I want people to be able to look at my VSS and without knowing, be able to say, yeah, that looks like a VSS. So I have to keep certain aesthetics. So I'm going to probably keep the sloped part here and just but make it straight side, maybe make it a little bit wider. Let me go back to the top view again. So I probably will make it a little bit wider, maybe up to here. Reason is that I'm going to expand this middle area and make it a little bit wider also. My intent is to put Cobra stilettos in their own little bitty hangars. So these hangars, if it looks good, may be covered. So I probably will have some beams coming out, and there will probably be some acrylic sheets on little hinges, so I can open up the acrylic and access the stuff inside. But I do want to have the middle part wider. The reason is I want to be able to put additional equipment, or maybe some backup Cobra stilettos or fire bats or something along those lines. The idea is once the stilettos launch, can move some other ships out. The other thing too, here's another idea. Taking one of these tile pieces, I could probably remove. So one here, maybe one somewhere here. For example, let me just hide the flight deck. So let me suppress the flight deck. Uh-oh. Let me save all. I hope I didn't suppress the entire model. Yeah. Okay, good. So The flight deck has been suppressed so we can see through. So this is the top structure here. So the idea is that maybe I could put some elevators. Maybe I could have an elevator here. Maybe I could have an elevator here, or maybe here. Something that I can raise or lower a Cobra stiletto, because they're going to have some space down here. Let's see, if I were to suppress that particular object, so I will be able to have so in other words, I would have to design a slightly different puzzle piece, so there's no tabs overlapping anything, and I would have to basically work these beams around the elevator opening and design it so I would have an elevator. But I'm wondering, maybe I could have it as a scissor lift out at the bottom, so that way just it scissor lifts the object straight up. I wonder if I could design a scissor lift where it's everything is hanging, and I can just lower the elevator, or maybe just design a system of rails and have the elevator, maybe with some gears, crawl up the rails. Maybe I can make it motorized. That would be interesting. So this was just one object removed here. I can easily remove another object and maybe change the front object here so this part is more flushed, so there's no gap, that kind of thing. There won't be a gap anyway to begin with, but in terms of the next step that I need to do, so yeah, I could put another elevator over there. Oh, you know what? Maybe I don't need to go all the way down. Or maybe it could have an elevator that goes all the way down. But if the flight deck is raised off of this section, then I might be able to have like a maintenance area where I can keep, or something like that. This is all maintenance stuff too. But maybe I could have enough space where I could have other fighter craft in storage or something, and I can just move them into the elevator and then raise them up into the top area here or down below. Interesting. I don't want to make this thing a triple decker, but I just want something where it could be kind of like a battle deck. So okay, so that's interesting. Let me put back the flight deck. Unsuppress. The other thing is I'm going to have to also see about extending the bridge. So let me change the view here. Oh, wrong one. That? No. That. So I probably will move the bridge further forward. Not too much. I don't want it to be way up here. I might move this middle part to make it longer as well. Maybe a little bit more than half. But it looks better when it's further back. So maybe I'll just go up to half. It might slope. have the bridge maybe centered of that, like in the middle. I do want the second bridge, so the second bridge will have to be on top. And then, so think something like an Imperial uh, cruiser from Star Wars, where you have the bridge goes high up, and then for the aesthetics, have a rear wall that's kind of slopes down from the upper bridge down to right about over the engine. Something like that. It might give a little bit of a sense of a snake, the cobra look, Uh, I'm not going to do cobra artwork, but that would be interesting. Maybe I can do cobra artwork. Have a large cobra with the I don't know, the neck part kind of flared out. Then we got the bridge and everything else. It's like one of those. It's like an old sailing ship where they have the carving of a mascot of some sort at the very front of the ship, overlooking the water. For safe passage for the ship. Maybe I could have a cobra thing. That's kind of weird, but maybe it needs it. So the last thing is I I'm putting I will have to put some joisting type structures underneath the engine part for reinforcements, because this is going to take a lot of weight, and I have to do the sides, the walls, the ceiling, so all that's going to be weight, and it's all going to be supported by the inside walls here on both sides, and that's going to be pressing against the bottom part of the ceiling. So I may have to do a separate ceiling part that attaches more securely over here. I might have to put some nuts and bolts kind of thing, and just kind of put a nut here and here, some a wide washer, that kind of thing, and secure it. Because this will take a lot of, this will be a heavy part, and being wood and things like that, it's going to have a lot of stresses. That's going to want to risk breaking the part. So I'm going to have to really reinforce this area. And let me go back to that view. So I'm probably going to have some beam work, joisting or bulkhead type work all along here. And at some point, it's going to go like a triangle. It's going to slope down like 45 degrees down to here. So there will be a rear door to launch stuff, launch other vehicles, maybe ground vehicles, maybe more fighter craft. I could put some ocean vessels, that kind of thing. I do need to design some anti-gravity structures. Probably won't need them every day, but it would be nice to have an anti-gravity machinery. Either the outside, well, I can't put it on the outside, but maybe as a prop that I can just put in and remove whenever I don't need it. But yeah, an anti-gravity prop would look good, and that might explain how the VSS can enter Earth's atmosphere without crashing, as well as other planets' atmospheres without crashing. And yet, still need to do is the front parts. You know, the nose section. Uh, Actually, it's just going to be some doors, but I don't want to just make a door and just boom straight like a garage door. I want to do something a little bit more stylish. So maybe make the door kind of open up like a clamshell. Maybe they swing outwards. Not sure, but I do need to see about designing the front part to make it a little bit nicer. So with that, I think I covered everything. Went ahead and worked on some parts for the VSS. Showed how the VSS will eventually look. Explained my thoughts on how the thing's going to be, and that's about it. So we're going to save this. It's been a long day, so I'm going to go ahead and grab a bite to eat. And if y'all like how this video came out, maybe it's a bit too long, but so maybe next time I'll just focus on a smaller item, and I'll just once that smaller item is done, just basically wrap up the video. And so let me go ahead and close this, because working with the CAD program may not be everyone's thing, especially if you work with computers all day. The last thing you want to do is come home and watch a video of somebody working with another computer. Yep.
If you have an emergency, just say, call for emergency help. Otherwise, I can
Computer,
help you with specific questions.
Stop. So I have my Amazon Alexa as with a keyword for computer. So that's it. Well, thank you for watching, and thank you for putting up with basically 2 hours of watching me do CAD work. I put the light. I changed the light so it's higher. So I don't know if that will degrade the quality of the picture. I noticed there's a little bit of graininess right now that I'm looking at this. So let me know how the video looks. And if you endured all of this for this long, thank you. And we'll try again with more CAD stuff, but maybe a different approach. Something smaller objects, something a little bit more fun. And well, that's it. 2 hours. Thank you. Good night.